What kind of elitism bothers you the most? I am in IT. I hate the guys who act like they are better or smarter than me because they know something I don't. Or when I go to ask for help, I get told, PFFT, you don't know? Obviously not, you don't. Or I wouldn't be asking. I bet there was a point in time when you didn't know the answer either. Excuse the frick out of me for not knowing the answer to a random 1 million problem, which I have never dealt with, on a program I have never even heard of. I feel like these people choose an elitist response because it helps them confirm that they might not actually suck at IT, even though there is always a shitload of issues we all aren't aware of yet and you just happen to ask them one of the few they do know. It's most likely a confidence booster for them. Naturopathic people who are obsessed with essential oils, holistic doctors, whole organic foods, iodine supplements, spiritualism, etc., and judge the heck out of you for 1. Using medicine, 2. Going to the doctor, 3. Believing in psychology, its demons and all laziness and selfishness. For your information. 4. Accepting standard scientific medical research. Sorry, I meant Big Pharma's lies. 1. The thing about real medicine is it takes the stuff in natural medicine that works, removes the stuff that doesn't, and then gives it to you at a concentration that isn't completely random. As vile as some painkillers taste, they're still better than willow bark. Most elitism bothers me, but I'm probably just projecting my own elitism onto others. Haha. Insecurity is allowed. Confidence is quiet. A woman told me she didn't trust quiet people because they are all scheming something. I just stared blankly back at her. Reddit elitism. Redditors act like the rest of society is some stupid hive mind that they aren't a part of, but truth is there, and as am I. I'll tell you the most confusing. I have a black friend and a Jewish friend who constantly argue over whose people were the most repressed. Yep, actual pee contests about whose dead but relatives had the worst time of things. They should team up and become superheroes. Honestly, any kind of elitism bothers me. If you're really educated in something, why not teach it to others rather than showing off how smart you are? I'm sure it gets bothersome, but you're not helping anyone by being a dong. I think the worst is people with inherited wealth. People like Donald Trump, who started life with a $50 million fortune and act like they are super geniuses for having been born 10 laps ahead of everyone else. I know people who inherited wealth and they are awesome, but I also know other people who are terrible. The key, as you point out, is being born into wealth and then imagining that they created their fortunes themselves. I started out with nothing. My dad bought me this crappy apartment building and I turned it into a real estate empire. People who constantly brag about where they went to prep school, college, grad school. Going to a good school doesn't make you a good person. Are there good people with degrees from Ivy, Smith, Stanford? Of course. There are also some real shitholes at all of those schools. Outside of a job interview, there's really no need to name drop where you went to school. As an Exeter Dartmouth Duke Law alum, I couldn't agree with you more. Faux activism elitists. Posting about issues on Facebook does not an activist make. This doesn't apply to people who actually work towards change. Above all else, be a snobbery. Also, I have a friend, really more of an acquaintance, that has to have the best anything of the group. He's a one-upper with a massive inferiority complex. It's very annoying. I've been homebrewing for about 2 years. My fridge right now is my latest and greatest, a Belgian Saison, that came out super awesome if perhaps a bit overcarbonated, and Bud Light Platinum, because I am an enigma. People who think that because they succeeded in life, everyone who didn't is a stupid lazy piece of crap freaking moron who didn't deserve success in the first place. For one thing, if you don't think luck played a role in any part of your success, you are deluded. Hard work, education, perseverance, yes, all of these are essential for self-made success, but you also had the good fortune to be in the right place at the right time, or had some other stroke of good timing or circumstance aid you. And people's lack of success can be caused by a lot of things that are completely out of their control. Sure, there are lazy and or stupid people out there who hold themselves down. There are also hardworking, intelligent people who never got the chance they needed. Just quit acting like you're a superior specimen just because things worked out for you. It's not enough that you're successful, you also have to be a condescending prick. Come on. Northern elitism. Several times when I have mentioned that I am from the South, I have been asked why would you admit that. In addition, the idea that if you're a proud Southerner you're racist is so stupid. People who think they are superior because of their major. I'm mostly looking at you engineering majors. I started out in engineering, did well in all of my classes, but decided it wasn't right for me because I found it abysmally boring. Now I have to deal with all of the too hard for you crap and being treated like a failure by people who knew I was engineering before. God forbid I major in something I actually enjoy and can see myself enjoying for the rest of my life. Our coffee is an elitist paradise. Someone asks a question about a drip coffee maker, and instead of answering your question, they tell you are stupid for drinking drip made coffee and that you should buy a grinder, expensive beans, a French press, and whatever else. Here's the deal. I didn't ask for you to act like an entitled butthole. I asked a question. I am not gonna spend an hour making a cup of coffee and pay more to do it. I just wanna put the grinds in the filter and press a button. I don't give a crap how much better your coffee is, because I've never minded drip made coffee. Jesus. Mombies. I popped out a human unit, therefore I am more important and matter more than you, so let me cut in front of you. What? You don't like the sound of screaming kids? You just don't understand what love means. You're only half a person till you have kids. I want to kill them all. People who think that if you are single, unmarried with no children and don't go to church every Sunday, then you are a promiscuous, homosexual, bisexual, immoral, wayward sinner. Class. I am from a middle class family and quite frankly I'm sick of my mother telling me that I'm not classy or ladylike because I have tattoos and say frick and don't align with her conservative political opinions. It is the general election in the UK tomorrow and I was having a debate with my dad about parties and she said she wanted to punch me in the face because I was being arrogant and patronizing. My dad said I was a typical young voter, so, in direct response, I said he was a typical middle-class middle-aged voter. Both are probably true. And she flipped her crap saying how disrespectful I was. All because I questioned why they wanted to vote conservatives. They don't know their policies. Or anybody's for that matter. My dad said that the parties haven't changed in 20 years so he knows the policies. But I was shouted down, literally, when I said that you can't judge a party on what they were like 20 years ago. My personal view is that people should engage with politics and take some time to consider policies and make an informed decision. I think part of the problem is people who have entrenched party affiliations and just vote for parties because they always have, or their parents have. My dad actually said that the Labour MP was the best in our constituency but he couldn't bring himself to vote for Labour. They somehow think that the Tories are of a better class and I'm convinced that is their reasoning. Labour are traditionally a working class party representing workers' rights but haven't been that for years. But that's all they seem to see and it winds me up somehow chronic. Constantly judged for having different views to them. I'm 22 years old and I'm entitled to my own life and opinions but to them it makes me arrogant. I have these discussions with friends or colleagues and everyone gets involved. My mother just resorted to personal attacks because my views didn't align with hers. Music elitists. Who cares what you listen to? If you were really a passionate music lover you wouldn't care what others listen to. Parents. I'm sure it's great and whatever, but I really don't want a kid just because I'm nearly 30. Please stop. My life is fine. Drug use elitism. You don't want to take another hit of this bong? You're freaking B. You're drunk after a couple of shots? I'm not even buzzed, you freaking lightweight. Anybody who does that are freaking buttholes. So what if my limit is lower than yours? How does that make me less of a person than you? I go to school with a lot of people who are really into Instagram and Twitter and such and they just think they are hot crap because they have 1000 Instagram followers. Just shut the frick up, no one gives a dang. I drive. Insert car, so that means I am better than anyone else. Oh, you drive a Hyundai. Sorry, I like my Hyundai prick. Nationalism jingoism. I appreciate that one is proud of their country, but I find it exceedingly annoying if anybody thinks that their country is the best in the world and can do no wrong. Jobism. Just because you wear a suit to work doesn't mean you're a better person than the janitor. In fact, he's a nice guy and you're a pretentious douchebag. Pick up your own freaking paper towel instead of thinking somebody else should come along and clean up after you. People who stereotype a certain group of people to be elitists. You prefer PC over console? You must be a mustard race elitist. I'm so much better than you. Come on, I stated a preference. It's not like I called you a peasant or even casually stated why I prefer PC. You're a STEM major? Just let me be happy with my arts degree. At least I'm doing what I love. B. So am I. And I have no problem with the fact that you want to do what you want to do. People really do get elitist about not belonging to elitist stereotype groups. You couldn't be more right. A lot of people are out of vegetarians right off the bat because they want to preempt their perceived preachiness. I dislike when some women act like they're superior because they dress feminine, wear heels, style their hair, and wear a lot of makeup. That's fine if that's what they're into, but I'm not less of a person because that's not what I'm into. Half the time, I don't think they look that good anyway. Over-processed hair, leathery skin from tanning, and usually out of shape. One time I heard a guy say that he won't talk to anyone that doesn't listen to Nirvana. So yeah, that type of guy. I like those types of people. They will filter themselves out of my life so I don't have to. As an atheist myself, it pains me every time I hear some make that you believe in a higher power, therefore you must be stupid assumption. Just because someone has faith in a god doesn't mean they're some backwards uneducated bigot. Some people just find peace in their faith, so leave them alone. Not the most, but the one that's on my mind right now. So I'm going to vent to you guys. My brother is into amateur cycling. I suppose it lies more on the edge of recreational amateur because he and his friends go on some competitive rides. I'm very supportive of people being devoted to an interest, but in my experience, cyclists talk so much crap about other cyclists' gear, and it's freaking expensive gear. That dude is such a poser. Look at his name of piece of gear. Dude, what the frick? Calm down. Are you a sponsored professional athlete? I work in the yachting industry as a classified salesman. People who I speak to all own a yacht and talk down to me like I'm worthless, just because I don't have a yacht. People using Linux. Pretentious bunch of suckers. If they start preaching about how Linux is better than Windows for gamers, I just want to punch their bearded handplanet heads. Hope I'm not too late, but football players, American football, or any kind of athletic elitism. Football is nowhere near the hardest sport and I don't give you any respect because you wear a mountain of pads. Frick you and try to run as much as a soccer player or go play rugby like a true brute. As a Texan, anyone who has recently moved to Austin then complains about people moving to Austin. Also everyone else in Austin. Right now, scientists who think they are better than non-scientists. I'm currently majoring in theoretical mathematics and let me tell you, I have been absolutely miserable since the majority of the people I am around at school are very off-putting to me. New students are the worst. They literally think that they are smarter than the professors and act accordingly. They are always proven wrong pretty fast. So over time, the attitude gets better but does not disappear, and honestly, I do not want to be a part of a group that thinks they are better than everyone else. Which is why I now know that when I graduate, I want nothing to do with any field of science. Food snobs foodies. The kind of people who think that there is exactly one proper way to cook, prepare, and or eat a particular food. Anything else is ruining it, you freaking moron. Frick you. Everyone's palate is different. You do your thing and let others do theirs. So long as it makes someone happy, who the frick cares how they eat it? No one is forcing you to do it their way. The rich fundraising crowd. Good cause, but the aristocrat in those people at the fundraising events is disgusting at times. Undeserved elitism, like people honestly thinking they're better than everyone. Most of the joke elitist characters from Pearls Before Swine also kills me. Jeff the cyclist, Victor the vegan, etc. anti-vaxxers. Fake elitism. So what if you drive a new 7 Series BMW? You're up to your eyeballs in debt trying to pay it off so you can impress the neighbors. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.